Hey guys, I'm Eric.
I'm Courtney.
And we are here with Gourdy's Pumpkin Run. Today we are talking about Gourdy's Apple Cider Spice Mix. As you guys may be aware of, new for 2020, in all of our virtual packets we're providing a brand new Apple Cider Spice Mix, which is basically a spice mixture that is meant to enhance the flavor of your apple cider. So once you get done running this fall, the idea is to have some apple cider waiting for you wherever that may be, and then you'll pop open the Gourdy's Apple Cider Spice Mix that's included in your packet, throw that in there, and it's going to complement the flavor of the apple cider. So we've partnered with a company out of Boulder, Colorado, who is making our exclusive spice mix. They've sent us several samples, and today we are here to kind of taste test them and ultimately decide what we're going to use later this fall. So, are you excited?
Yeah. The first one right here we have is the Cardamon apple, and then Sangria, caramel apple, and honey maple.
So we'll zoom in here in a second and show you guys all the different flavors.
Cardamon apple, Sangria, caramel apple, and honey maple.
So for our tasting today, we have kind of a methodology we're going to use. First of all, we have good homemade apple cider, and by homemade, not made by us, but made by an orchard here in New York. So always start with good solid apple cider. We are going to take the apple cider, and each of these from our spice manufacturer, they kind of gave us instructions on how much to mix in. So we're going to be weighing with our scale and basically doing this precisely, because when we ultimately make these later on this summer in preparation for the fall, they're going to come pre-measured. So when you have them later this fall, you'll be able to open up the packet, dump it in, it'll be pre-measured. So with that in mind, we're not going to just willy-nilly pour it in, we're going to measure it out just to make sure that we're getting the proper tasting.
Want to be precise?
Yep. All right, guys, I just measured out 6 ounces of our apple cider, and now we are going to start mixing some flavors in. So as I said, we're going to be doing this as precise as possible. So we have our measuring cup here on our scale. And the first one we're using today is the Cardamon apple. Cardamon apple calls for 20 grams of the spice mix. All right, 20 grams of the spice mix. Dump this into our cider. Now we stir until dissolved. Smells like fall in a glass. Courtney?
So honored to be the first to try it. That's really good.
We're off to a good start.
You want to give it a try?
That is really good. One of the things that we wanted to make sure that we didn't do here was to take apple cider that's already sweet by itself. Apple cider is typically just pressed apples, so you just have apple juice. So that's inherently sweet by itself. So what we told the people out in Colorado is that we just want to make sure that we get something that's going to complement the cider and not necessarily make it too overly sweet. So I think this accomplishes that, and it gives it really a great flavor.
I think so. All
right. Next up, we have Sangria. So very interested about this one. Just reading through the ingredient list, it's a little more complex, but I think it will lend itself very well to the apple cider taste. So let's try the Sangria, which calls for 9 grams of the spice mix. This is the weirdest looking one, I think, because it does have so many ingredients in it.
It has like a crystallized texture to it, multicolored, very rich.
Let's take the Sangria spice mix. that in. Stir this until it's dissolved. Let's see how this stirs in.
I feel like this one's going to be harder to dissolve because it's so crystally.
Yeah.
It's already taking longer than the other one.
So just with the apple cider here, I can get some big whiffs of what smells like orange. Yeah, it smells very orangey to me. So this will be interesting. It's not bad.
And I can see that those crystals I was talking about are forming in the bottom still.
What are your thoughts?
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, I think after the first one, this one, I mean, it smells really orangey. It smells really, as described, sangria-like. But
as you can see, it is harder to mix in. Takes longer. But even with that, even with those particles on the bottom, it's still very orangey, almost too summery for a apple
yeah, and that's
cider.
what I was gonna say. The first one just it screamed fall when you sipped it. This one screams summer on a patio, which is great, but maybe not for once we get to fall.
Right. We'll put it aside.
All right, guys, we are ready for our third flavor today, which is going to be caramel apple. Sounds like this one would be a winner just based off the name.
I'm super excited for this one.
Smell good?
Yes.
All right, so let's check out the caramel apple. Instructions: 15 grams of the caramel apple spice mix. Just off the bat, reading the ingredients, I'm definitely expecting this one to be on the sweeter side, but we'll see. Again, we don't want to have something that makes the already sweet cider taste too sweet. And I think that's why I think both of us are a big fan of the first one, is that it really didn't overpower the sweetness.
And that first one, it only had 2 ingredients, which compared to the sangria one had like 8 flavors in it. I mean 8 ingredients. So, and some of those are like 1 ingredient that's mixed in with like 3 things.
Yeah.
So it had a lot going on.
Immediately, this one just, it smells just like a caramel apple. Let's see how it tastes. It's pretty good. I think it's a little sweeter than I'd like, but very good.
Ooh. Okay, that smells like fall. I'm bummed. I thought it was going to be my favorite, but it's not.
I think
it almost like, what were you going to say?
I think it's good. I think it's a contender. What do you think about the sweetness of it? Do you think it's a little too much, or do you think it's muted?
I don't think it's too much. I think it almost tastes artificial, though.
Even though it's all natural ingredients.
Yeah, it's all natural ingredients, but something about it.
It's very caramely, too.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Caramel apple, who'd have thunk it?
Right.
So we have one more, and this is actually the one I was looking forward to the most, honey maple. So let's pour our cider and mix in some honey maple. All right, guys, we are on to our final one of the day, the fourth and final mix, which is the honey maple. Let's measure out 12 grams of the honey maple.
What do you think about this one, based on the scent?
It smells really good. It's again, I said it in the last one. I'm very excited about this honey maple one. It looks like it's gonna mix easy. Smells delicious. So let's give it a whirl. All right. Let's try the honey maple. That is really good. It really tastes when you go to taste it, you can smell the apple cider still, which is really good.
Yeah.
But it just has a very it's a very subtle honey and maple taste. I was a little nervous that it was going to be overpowering on either the honey or the maple, but it's
I really like that one. Yeah, okay.
I could sip this on a fall afternoon after a long run.
For sure.
Great. So, to kind of have some fun, we're going to spice this up a bit. This will not be in your packet by default, but we have a little bit of habanero pepper, and as a spice lover myself, we're just going to see how this goes, because not too much, because this stuff is...
This stuff is fire.
Yeah. So just a little...
Are we going to try it in all of them?
I think we should just try this in the... I think the honey maple one, it's going to go really well.
Okay.
So with the habanero peppers added, still smells the same. Yep, gives a little, just a slight burn to the back of your throat. Doesn't really change the flavor profile, but gives that slight burn.
I don't think I got any pepper.
Don't worry, this habanero will not be in the spice packets.
It's just in our cabinet.
It's just in our cabinet, and we both love spice so much that we decided, hey, let's have some fun. But if, of course, you get this fall and you want to add some of your own peppers in, it's a fun thing to do. All right, guys, so once again, we have from left to right, we have the cardamom apple, we have sangria, caramel apple, and our honey maple. Courtney, out of all those, what ones did you like?
I think I liked the cardamom apple the best.
Yeah, the cardamom apple was really good. Again, it really just complemented the flavor of the apple cider and didn't really overpower it. I think I could definitely rule out the sangria. I think you really said it best. It kind of just overpowered. Like it tasted very orangey. It tasted very summery, which is great, but that's not really what we were going for.
Right.
The caramel apple, it was good at first. I kind of liked it. I was kind of surprised by it, but ultimately, I think I don't know if I would say it tasted artificial, because there's nothing artificial in it. I think the caramel was almost too much.
I agree.
And the honey maple, I think, is a strong contender. So I think we'll take a sip again and see what we go with.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. So thanks for joining us today for our apple cider tasting.
Thank you.
And we will be tasting these a little more and ultimately deciding what we want to include on the Gourdy's apple cider spice mix that will be in your virtual packets later this fall.
We'll let you know.
Cheers.
Cheers.